Yeah? Okay, cool. So I have everything in my pockets. Ta-da! Yeah, today on my way here, I was actually thinking how to start all of this. And I realized actually I'm going to change everything. So I changed. And I was thinking when on my way about the Christmas markets and how nice it is, and I was missing home. It's those, months when it's winter in Germany, and I really miss being back in Brazil. And I remembered when I was a kid. And it was a time that I used to, have ice cream during Christmas time. So it was really nice, things that Germans don't know, that we eat ice cream in December. And that was my ice cream. It was chocolate ice cream with Smarties on top. And my mom, she would never let me eat that alone. I had to share it with all the people in the streets, strangers. And it was really, I was really annoyed by that. And I didn't understand, and she was really pissed at me and saying, Katiane Di Schiavi. Yeah, that's a long name. And that's my name. And she used to say the whole thing to tell me, you have to do it now. And I did it eventually. And from that time, from my childhood, I have these memories, sometimes not that sweet. And I remember actually when I used to go back home, and Francisca was our maid and babysitter for 12 years, really, long time, up to her retirement. She became a family member, and Francisca would be there for me every day when I would be back home. And Francisca, she, when I was there, my parents would never be there because they would be working all time and holidays and whatever, because they wanted to afford good schools for me and my brother. And well, so from that time I tried actually to find a picture where Francisca was there, and I just could find this one, which she's not there, because she was most probably in that room. I remember, that we were doing these afternoons like this, my brother and I, and also it came to my mind, okay, we don't have any picture with her, isn't that strange? I don't know. Anyways, I realized that at that time also her kids used to play with her, or with us. I should bring them to work, and it was, Lucia and Luciano, 2 kids. And they were more or less the same age as we are. Hello. And they were, just playing there and doing nice things together. There's a small thing before we get to that. So I actually, after some long time, I didn't see Francisca, and I invited her for my farewell to go to Germany. And that picture was the first thing that I saw in Germany, in Bonn. It was an amazing view. And Francisca, when she was in my farewell party, it was a very emotional moment, because I haven't seen her for maybe 10 years, and then she shows up, and she's like, wow, I'm super proud of you, because I never thought that one person that I know would go to Europe. Europe's such a wow dream for her. For me, it was also a dream, but it was something tangible, yeah? And I asked her, okay, so how about you? Yeah, how's life? And okay, and she was, Lucia, she became a maid, just like her mother. And yeah, she was fine with this. And Luciano, he became a drug dealer. So what do you say after that? Oh, nice, yeah. So I was trying to find the right words, and I said, okay, so you know what, I have to go, I have to do what I have to do, and I'm going to Europe, and I'm going to stay there. I don't know how long, and and I did, I worked a lot, and whatever. And in this time, I was just thinking, it's kind of difficult to leave the people behind, knowing that they are not in a good condition, knowing that they were part of your family, and suddenly, you're not using your skills to help them. So, that was the kind of thing that I had in my mind when I used to think about home. These differences, So, and when after 8 years or 7 years living in Germany, I realized that I wanted to go back to Latin America. And I did this by taking a sabbatical. yeah, home meant for me actually a place where I had to share my ice cream with other kids because their parents could not afford it. And home meant for me a place where Lucia and Luciano had completely different fates just because they couldn't go to good schools. They didn't have access to good education. But at the same time, I thought, you know, Melinda and Bill Gates, they are good at this, they can do it. Like, they have money, they have skills, they have time, they're retired already, so good. I don't need to do it. That was my denial phase. And after the denial phase, my partner and I, we were super excited going to Latin America with our backpacks. And the first thing we've seen was this in Patagonia. So 4 weeks in Patagonia, it was amazing. And then one day I realized traveling is nice, but I was deeply bored. I couldn't just travel. It was something I need to use my brain. I need to do something meaningful. So I called a friend working at United Nations Volunteers. And I say, yeah, you know, I wanted to do something nice, meaningful, and with the skills that I have, I mean, business skills, can you do anything to help others with business skills? Not sure. And he told me, hey, Kati, just look at the opportunities. Yeah, just go for it. So I had in mind this idea that the volunteers from United Nations are like this, but anybody can be, like even people like me. And as a business person, I needed to get some numbers. So just from United Nations volunteers, 12,000 volunteers a year worldwide, and people just like me. So women coming from developing countries. I thought, well, that might be a sign. And I went for the action phase. So the action phase was, yeah, let's go to the website, and I'm going to apply. You know, just raise your hands and say, hey, I'm here. I want to help. And I was super confident, yeah. And I got my rejection, my first rejection. I said, okay, cool. So I don't even have skills for that. Yeah, nice. But then I said, I don't take no as an answer. I'll go for the second round. And I went for a second project in Nigeria for bringing kids back to school. That was their mission. And what the founder asked me, Kati, I need you to lead a team, and I need you to make a business and marketing strategy for us. Okay. So yeah, let's start writing. So my team and I, we were writing 50 pages of document, and we delivered it. It was great. Yeah, you can imagine a great plan, German plan, with all the concrete measures that one can implement. And I thought, okay, this is actually, is this impacting any lives? I mean, I'm just writing blah, blah, blah. Up to the time I got this picture from John. John is in Abuja, and his father died in a road accident last year. He and his 5 siblings had to leave school because, you know, they couldn't support the family, or they had to support the family. They didn't have money for materials, neither for the school fees. And I realized, whoa, okay, we have something here. What can we do? You know, well, I don't know, Facebook, whatever. I don't know what is next, yeah? And then I talked to Charles, and we realized, okay, we need to bring his other siblings back to school. We need to bring other kids from other communities back to school. And we started to apply for prizes and awards and sponsorships, and that's what we are doing now in this project. And then remember this guilty feeling that I was saying, you know, like when I met Francisca and what the hell, why this happened. So this great feeling, or this guilty feeling became power. Yeah, really a great power, not only of helping others, but a power to reinvent myself. So I went for the second project, which is called PCs for Kids. PCs for Kids is an organization spread all over the world, so it's 150 volunteers. And what we are doing there, we collect computers from companies, old computers that they don't use it anymore. Then we recycle them, reformat, and install a software that is built by us. So my role is to lead a team, but actually being more a product owner for a software project that we are doing. And it's a web application for kids. And you think, oh, okay, so what is the impact of it? Do kids even have access to internet? Well, much more than we believe. And you don't need to do only a web app, you can also do an offline app that can become a web app. So there are so many things you can do, and very interesting ones. For example, we're using lean startup approach for it, and we're doing agile, or agile is very, word, but anyways, like we're using AWS, we are using really cool technology to develop our applications. So it's very exciting what you can do. And the cool thing, nobody's telling you what to do because they trust you. So I trust my team and they trust me to do the right thing. And the thing why I wasn't accepted for my the first application that I sent, it was because I didn't have the right skills for it. Yeah, I was applying for women empowerment. And they were saying, so what do you know about women empowerment? I said, I don't know. I talked to my friends, telling them to go for it. And they're like, but this is not enough. And then I said, okay, I want to use the skills, what I learned about software development to make an impact in the world. And yeah, so one thing, or actually before I go to that, how many of you, or could you raise your hand if you already help an organization or institution initiative? Okay, I see some hands. And how many of you would still want to help an organization, independent of time or money or whatever, would like still to help? Okay, that's great potential. I'd like to see that. So there are some few things you could do. Find a website like this, or just go to this one from United Nations. There are 200 positions, and you can even use just 1 hour of your time to make an impact in the world. Ta-da!